Hello and welcome to another episode of Gents Talking Current Events. I'm Paul, this is my brother Joe, our nephew James, and our other nephew, Sam, our guest speaker today, or guest
Host. Thanks for coming out, Sammy.
You're welcome.
Actually,
Thanks for
today's
having me.
Sammy's 26th birthday, man.
Perfect.
Didn't want that on the podcast, but it's too late now.
to go
26
that?
years around the sun.
No, I'm just messing around.
to be 26 again.
It sucks.
Oh,
It sucks.
Yeah.
Well, you got a lot longer. You got a long way till you hit these guys, till you catch up to these guys.
Driving all the way out to Utah, right?
Oregon. Yep.
Oregon.
Portland, Oregon.
Portland.
Yep.
I did a big trip like that when I was 18, so it's a lot of fun. You're going to have a good time. But today we've got a couple different things we want to talk about. First one is Trump, baby.
Trump's trade deals.
Mm-hmm.
But at any point, if you like what you're hearing,
Yeah.
hit like, subscribe, comment, tell us what's happening.
Yep.
TikTok, YouTube. We're not good at this. Who cares? Trump. I'm excited.
Yes.
Let's hear about it.
Some trade deals. What did he do with Indonesia and
Basically, Trump recently just came out. Yeah, I think it was this morning, early this morning, came out and said he made a trade deal with Japan and a trade deal with China, Japan and Indonesia. The one with Japan I thought was kind of ironic, is over rice. That China and Japan year over year have produced rice at a deficit in reference to what they need, so they purchase rice elsewhere. The United States always produces rice at a surplus year over year. And the trade deal specifically, or not specifically, but the majority of it is in reference to purchasing rice from the United States.
did you know that we grew rice?
I didn't.
And
Have you ever seen a rice field?
it's actually
I've only seen cornfields.
it's
corn
very
and- corn
well. We're in
beans.
Ohio. These are actually more
and
south.
soybeans.
Yeah.
Right.
But the not only are they going to be purchasing rice from us, but Japan said that they are willing to invest $550 billion into the United States
To grow rice?
to grow more
and,
rice.
and other stuff.
Wow.
Yeah.
And the trade deal before this, Trump was slapping them with 25% tariff, but now anything that they buy from us is going to be at 15%. And they said that their stock market,
You said this was China?
No, this is Japan.
Okay.
and their stock market went through the roof with this news.
It's just big, and this is the first time that the United States has been able to score a trade deal with Japan in a very, very long time. Japan has always been on the side of we're never going to make a deal with the United States. This is not something we're going to be able to do, and the deal master made it happen. I mean, especially with all the criticism he's getting right now, the fact that he's able to. And I don't know the Indonesia one as much, but that one was supposedly just as big.
Yeah.
With tariffs, I think that he locked the tariff rate at 19% with everything coming in from Indonesia at 19%. So he's doing things that they're agreeing to, which means he's moving things forward. He's progressing, and it's just all
All
a really
of this
good
started
sign.
off a few months ago a little scary, though, because everyone was like, I mean, there was a lot of stress over
Stock market was really up and down.
I mean, I do think, though, like if you have, your household, you look at like your household, this domain. You got a husband, you got a wife, you got a couple kids. If you don't know how to manage a budget, if you just keep spending or you don't make good decisions and you're just getting further and further behind, you just need somebody that can kind of say, hey, this isn't working. We have to reevaluate. Can't keep doing what we're doing. I like the idea that he's making deals with some of these countries. And if we can get more revenue and more positive cash flow coming back to the United States.
They're talking about surpluses.
Yeah, June, the White House came out and said they had a surplus, which is the first time since 2001. President Bush Jr. was in office. We've been running a deficit since, and they're now also projecting that in July they're also going to have a surplus as well, basically meaning that we have not added to the national debt for a full month.
Which is,
Since 2001.
Since 2001.
24 years.
Yes.
and in 2001, that only happened because the Republicans and the Democrats actually worked together, passed some tax bills, passed some cuts in spending to make that happen.
And that there's also a lot of just hate around the big beautiful bill that came out, because that's also it increased our budget to, I think, over $7 trillion or $7 trillion
Well, they
for
say
the.
it's going to add so much.
Yeah, so he's doing a lot. A lot of the time when you're in government, you see presidents and you see, the White House in general, not just the president, but they're pushing for more. They want to spend more money. They want to do this, but they don't have anything to back it. And you see them doing a lot of really powerful things where they said, we will not, Japan literally said, we will not make a deal with the United States. They hadn't for the longest time, and he was able to get in there and do that. It's just a really good move. And to talk about that, when you've got a small budget and you're running in the red every single month, it's difficult. You're living paycheck to paycheck. You slowly got to crawl yourself back. We weren't in a deficit in June. We're supposedly not going to be a deficit in July. I was just getting curious, and now they came out with this month's recession odds. What are the odds that America's going to go into recession? And right now they said it's at 28%.
And when would that start?
But put it in perspective.
Yeah, is that high or low?
So yeah. So the recession basically means what are the odds that the economy is going to just fall? The stock market, housing market, all these things, interest rates, everything's going to go the way you don't want it to. It's at 28% right now. If you look, there's 50 million companies that do this.
Yeah.
Some of them right now say it's at 60%. Some of them say it's at 20%. This one that I was looking at, I think it was the New York Journal, the New York Finance something. But I stuck with their numbers because I wanted consistency. I didn't want to go, oh, this one was really high, I'm going to use that one. Oh, this one's really low, I'm going to use that one. In the last year of Trump's presidency in his first term, their number for recession odds was 14%, 14.5%.
Which is interesting because that was COVID.
Mm-hmm. I think it was right before COVID.
Oh, right.
Right before COVID hit. Because you had to spend money to get through COVID. Then with Biden's administration, the last month of his administration before Trump took over, it was above 60%.
Because
the recession odds.
And there was still a lot of spending going on.
And now it's down to 28%. So now you're talking, how long has he been president for?
I mean,
6 months?
6 months, and he's already dropped the recession odds 30%. It just makes me feel good. I want him to do good. I want him to be good. I don't like, some people love the fact that he's brash and he's says what's on his mind and he just doesn't care. I'm not a big fan of that, but when you're putting numbers out and it's showing that we're in the right progression, I've got a family to worry about.
And inflation is down,
mm-hmm.
which they thought that was going to go up with all these tariff stuff. So somehow he's figuring it out. Keep the economy good because it's all about the economy.
My question is, how can you be experts in finance and government and all this stuff, and you are so incorrect in your thinking? It's numbers, it's math. Like, how can an analyst say these tariffs are going to ruin the economy? How can you be so certain when it's done the complete opposite? But we've had people that said, well, it's going to be good. So what line can you trust? I mean, especially for me, I don't listen to the news all the time. So when I tune in, I might see one article, one story, and that's what I would take at face value just because that's all I've seen. So I don't know who to trust because I've seen both sides of it all the time. So it's tough on what numbers can I truly believe in, and what not.
What he's doing now it's going to take time.
Yeah.
To figure out whether or not this really is going to be good. Is it going to cause inflation long term or not? Back in the, I don't know what it would have been, the 90s, they wanted to do free trade. So they didn't have any tariffs on Mexico and other countries.
Mm-hmm.
But all that created is that those countries had cheap labor. The U.S. companies just moved over there. A lot of people here in the United States lost jobs.
Mm-hmm.
So there's two sides to it. Should you put tariffs in place? Some people say no, it's just going to make everything cost more. Other people say you bring back jobs here.
Right.
So, and these other countries, we are the biggest buying country. Like, we buy everything.
Mm-hmm.
So who needs who more? Do we need them because we buy everything, or do they need us because they're selling stuff?
Right.
And that keeps their economy going.
Mm-hmm.
And then there was a really crazy report that I read where they came out with who grows their own food, who has the ability to grow their own food. And it went off of meat, fish, legumes, wheat, like all fruit, all these different categories. And there are a couple countries that, if they got cut off from the world, could 100% support themselves.
Are we?
In 5 out of the 7 categories, we could. And I think fish was one of them. And
I think you could flip the switch, though.
if you needed to.
Like, we recently traveled, on vacation, and you drive, and I still think to my mind there's so much vast land that we have here that just goes on and on and on forever. If we really had to say, hey, we're putting our foot down.
You're right.
We're going to start growing everything here. We're going to start feeding everybody from here. We're going to just,
You could do it.
We have the space. We
We have the means. We just have to have
we have to change the mindset a little bit, and
But there are some countries out there that have like zero.
well, they have too much population for the amount of space. They can't grow enough food. They can't make enough food.
So that was another fun little article that I read. And you should look it up. It was like the top 50 countries that can support themselves. And United States in legumes, beans, stuff like that. I think most of the reason why we produce it's not for food, it's for oils and it's for more production things, not for food. We're like at 1,400% the need for the food capacity of it. So you can see that we're not just doing that because we're shipping beans everywhere. I think
I love my beans.
The soybeans and stuff like that.
Beans, the musical fruit.
The soybeans and stuff like that we use to create oils for car parts and stuff like that is we're heavily producing that. Where some countries aren't at all. Some countries are only worried about surviving. They're not worried about thriving in certain regards. And you may not need fruit necessarily to keep everybody alive. You need the basic essentials.
And the stock market is doing good. So,
and of course, we talk about Bitcoin and it goes down.
well, then we should stop talking about it.
Oh, should I not have
Yeah,
mentioned
thanks.
it?
It's down 1,000 right now. Just checked. 1,000 down.
Oh, man.
Every time we say it.
Bitcoin, and then I'm going to buy.
Stop. So, speaking of Trump, he recently said that the Washington Redskins Washington Commanders should change the name back to the Redskins. And he said the Cleveland Guardians should change the name back to the Indians. What's your thoughts? What do we think?
I like it.
I think that I would like to see the Guardians
We live by
go-
Cleveland.
Yeah, we live here in
So we have a
northern Ohio.
We have a reason to. Oh no, you're good. We have a reason to want them to be. I was upset when they went from the Indians to the Guardians. I like the Chief Wahoo. I
mean, the Chief Wahoo, I could see maybe some people being bothered by, but the word Indians, I don't understand it. But no, Trump also told that Washington Commanders that they want a new stadium.
Mm-hmm.
He said that if they don't change their name, he's going to hold up the funding for the stadium.
Oh, jeez.
Which I don't necessarily agree with that. Like, he could give his opinion,
But don't
but you
force
can't.
them.
Yeah, you can't be getting into the nitty gritties of it. But I just think it's interesting. The last couple games ago here in Cleveland, they were asking people on the streets, would they want the name changed? Like, Trump says that you change the name back.
It was pretty heavily leaning towards going back to the
It was like
Indians.
59 saying yes, go back to the Indians, to like 12 saying no, keep it the way it is. So,
But what you need to do is you need to go to the group of people that, whether we are or we are not, we are offending. And you need to say.
well, the question is are we done with being woke? That's what Trump said.
I see. And I'm pretty sure when the names were being changed, they did ask that community, the Native American community, and they were like, why would this be offensive?
Well, I think there's a group that are offended. I mean, there was always a group that was offended. But some of them say, no, we're not.
I think in a way it's just what it's always been. Why would you need or want to change it? But I also
Let us know what you think.
Yeah, I also enjoy the name Guardians.
Yeah.
I've come accustomed to it. I now it's all I say. I don't say Indians anymore. When it first came out,
still say
The irony is when you look at the script,
Yes, they
Indians
kept it.
and Guardians,
They tried to stay the
a
same.
lot of the same proportionate value is there. You just got a little flip of it. You know
So
what I
now
mean?
I heard that the Indians are going to have a new ownership in 3 years, and I don't know why. I don't know if he's just selling or what. So that would maybe be a time the new owner could come in and change it back.
but the Indians.
But when you go to the Indians, if you go to the Guardians game, there's still so many people wearing shirts.
Oh, I still wear Indian stuff when I go.
Indians. The
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
I
I still have the Wahoo.
I would say you could walk through there and
The first time I went
be
back
50-50.
after a couple of years, I said, "Can I even wear this?
I know.
Like, am I going to get in trouble?"
That's funny.
They're gonna
But-
put cuffs on you and take you away.
Sorry,
na-
sir, we can't have that here.
The name Indians, I don't see. If you're going to choose between the Redskins
I
and
know.
the Indians,
I
the
feel the same
Redskins
way.
should be the one where you're like, hey, we should probably change the name. You know what I mean? Like that to me is where you're starting to get to that line when you're calling them the Redskins. You know what I mean? That
Yeah.
to me, that's where you're starting to get. But just the Indians. Then you were saying something about Wahoo, Chief Wahoo. Like, but it's just an image. It's not. We don't make fun of them during the
What about
game.
the Kansas City Chiefs? They never got.
No, they never had to do anything.
They
Right.
never. They
But
never
theirs is just a simple arrowhead. You know what I mean? It's not the maybe it's the picture that is offensive, not just the name. I don't know. I see where it's. And the funny thing is right when that was all happening, the right was saying it's just words, it's just the name. Why are we so offended? And now, go ahead. What were you going to say?
Did you bring up the image? Right, you said, "What's the problem with the image?"
Mhm.
Well, our high school was in
Oh, yes.
Indian, and now that is gone.
The Raiders.
Right,
Raiders,
the Raiders.
not-
There's not.
All four of us went to the
They're
same,
still the Raiders, but they've taken away that the
and it's just
the
the
mascot.
hatchet.
Now it's just the hatchet with the C.
We all four went to the same high school, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
All of our pictures are on the same high school wall.
at different times. When
Oh.
I went, we still had.
no, you
know,
just graduated high school.
we had to
When we
etch,
went-
etch
when we
stuff
went-
in stone.
When we went to high school, you still wrote in cursive.
I don't even know how to write my name. No, I'm just kidding. But
And
that
nobody,
is a good point.
nobody was offended by anything.
Yeah, I completely forgot about that in this whole conversation. That
But there was like a time where, what is it? Sticks and stones may break my bones, but names won't hurt me. Isn't
Will
that
never
what
hurt me.
Sticks and stones may break my bones, and words will never hurt me.
Yeah.
But
But-
now it's words hurt me the worst.
the right was saying it's just words. Why are we so offended by it? But they ended up going through and changing it. Now, the left is saying, hey, they're just words. Why do we need to go and change them? They're just words. Why? So it's such a flip floppy here and there. We talk about this almost every episode. That everything is just so back and forth, and who said, and we said, and she said, and we need to do this, and they need to do that, and it's just too much.
It is. It's a lot.
But what we need to focus on is the words that the WMBA had on their shirts the other day.
I did see that, and I thought that was quite
Did
entertaining.
you see that, Joe?
Oh, I did.
So it said,
Pay us what you owe us.
So when I first saw that, I believe they're in contract, right?
They're in a contract right now. So they're actively
So my first thought was, okay, obviously the WNBA is not paying them what they're agreed to pay them.
okay. So that's what your initial thought.
Yes. So which is fine. So they're in negotiation. They feel they're going to make a statement by saying, well, you're not paying us what you told us you would pay us. Pay us what you owe us.
Makes sense.
But that's not,
No, not the
they're
case.
just saying that they want more money and they should have more money.
Yes, but when you start getting into the logistics of it, it's a lot deeper.
I thought it instantly thought of wage gap
That's what you thought.
comparatively to
Well, that's what I think they're going with.
comparatively to the NBA.
Yes.
Yes, you're saying that the NBA is making millions and millions, and they're only making $75,000.
Right.
They're saying they want millions.
They
and
want
millions.
millions of dollars.
So when I really started to dig into it, it was when you look at the revenue of the NBA, the NFL, NHL, all these sports leagues, it's almost 50% goes to the companies that own them, 50% gets dispersed to all the players. When you look at the WNBA, I think the WNBA players only get 14. No, I think it's 10%, 9%, 9.87% of the revenue gets dispersed to all players.
But if it's my understanding, the WNBA, which has been around for a few decades,
Since 1997,
Loses money every
has
year.
not made money yet.
not a single year have they been in the positive since they started.
So do you remember back when?
So that's why they're getting 10% of the
100%.
revenue. So in theory, if they want to get paid what they're owed, they should actually pay the owner's money.
I get what you're saying. Joe, what were you going to say if you think about it?
you remember when the women's soccer team back a handful of years ago, they were awesome. They won like the Women's World Cup or whatever. They were like the best team. and they were mad and they were upset because they were only making X amount of money and the guys were getting paid multiple millions of dollars. Even though the men hadn't won a World Cup or anything major for several years in a row, but the women were doing really good, they ran the numbers. And the revenue generated by the men's soccer league was absurdly substantial comparatively to what the women's were generating.
Right. So you can't even get close to the same amount of pay because that your line of business, unfortunately, does not make money.
Exactly.
No. So you
can't make money.
You have a two-man landscaping crew over here, and he's mad because another guy that owns a landscaping company is making $1 million a year. This guy's barely making $100,000. Well, you're not making enough money to make enough money.
So, but I did look it up, and the NBA took a few decades to start turning a profit.
Well, how are they staying alive?
I don't know, how is the WNBA staying alive?
Because the reason why the WNBA is staying alive is because the NBA is subsidizing all their losses. Last year they lost $50 million.
So those two leagues are connected?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure the NBA owns 60% of the WNBA. So that they're, you know what I mean, like, and then the rest is owned by private investors.
The fractional amount of time that I've ever turned the TV on and seen girls play, when I look at the
crowd,
the auditorium or wherever they're playing, there's nobody there.
Well, and that's the thing. So like, I think
that's your number one way to get money.
I hate
well,
to
that's
say,
part of the reason. And any jerseys that are being sold or any revenue.
Commercials. That's really the name of the game, is just watching the TV and seeing, and you're getting views and you're getting commercials and you're getting all ads. That's another one of the huge money drivers. And if you don't got the viewers, you don't got the money.
See, the sports tends to be like men enjoy sports typically, I would say, more than women watching.
Mm-hmm.
And so men show up and watch football and watch basketball and watch baseball. So for the WNBA to be successful, maybe women just need to start showing up and watching. Does that make sense, or am I wrong?
There's a point to that. But
are there enough women that are interested in it?
That's what I'm saying.
Obviously not.
Right. Or they would have full stadiums.
And the only reason why I know anything about is this Caitlin Clark and some of that drama.
I don't know any of the drama, but I know that she's one of the biggest drivers for any views because she's good. And she's
just, there's like this drama around her and other players, and it's interesting.
Here's my opinion on it. You make more than I do to play basketball. Shut up. I work a 9 to 5 every day.
If someone told you, Sam, you could go and play basketball for the rest of your life and make $75,000, would you take the job?
Yes.
But it's looking at it from their perspective. They have been making $75,000 for 3 years. They see this lofty people all around them that are doing the same thing. They're playing basketball and they're making so much more. And they see the numbers. All of our players are only making 10% and they're making 50%. So I can see where on just the surface level they have that very quick argument. But I agree with you. If you told me I can go play these basketball players are making $50 million a year or a contract.
I'll sit on the bench for $10,000.
Yeah, I'd go. You pay me. I'm not going to do good, obviously, but if I was good and you told me I'll pay you $250,000, you could sign me up. I would be there.
One game of coach month, one play, great. I'm cool.
So I get what you're saying, that if you're making a living, but if you're making a living, why are you complaining?
It's an interesting argument. I would like to actually
I feel like if there was more money to be paid out, they would be paying out because they'd want to bring in more talent and better players, and they'd keep up in the ante to bring in more.
Another league.
Why would you invest in something that hasn't worked?
Exactly. It's a business. Mm-hmm. At the end of the day, it's a business.
So another league.
Yeah.
In your sign of thinking is the Savannah Banana. Have you heard of that?
Fantastic.
They're like, have you heard it?
Have you?
They're not even once.
No. So it's another baseball league, like a minor league. This guy just kind of started it up, but he's changed some of the rules of the baseball. Like if you get a walk, you can start running. And don't quote me, but it's something like this. Mm-hmm. You can start running, and they have to throw the ball to every single player in the outfield before you can stop.
Oh, wow.
And then they dance beforehand.
They got crazy stuff.
They have a guy that wears stilts and pitches, and it's just a lot more interactive. They make the fans more interactive. They dance in between the innings.
This is for baseball?
Yes.
Baseball. And this guy is selling out stadiums going all around the country.
Really?
And I can
Is that
tell you-
popular?
It's
And I
becoming
can
very
tell you
popular.
why, because it's not just people being competitive. It is at that point a form of entertainment.
It's very good
that I would
entertainment.
want to go. I would want to go see that.
And they encourage them, when the ball gets hit out in the outfield, don't just stand there and catch it.
Do a backflip.
Do a
when you're
backflip
catching
and catch it.
It's the craziest
Yeah.
stuff.
Yes.
So I'm
You
on a
gotta look-
flight.
you
That
gotta
would be
look
the
it up.
awesomest thing to go see.
I'm
gotta
on a
look it up.
flight coming back from Atlanta 4 or 5 years ago, and I sit next to this guy, and he is just a talker, and he's just
That's
like
great.
talking to me, and he's excited, and you could just see this guy. Well, I'm like, man, I thought I had some energy. This guy's got a lot of energy. So I'm like, so what do you do? And he goes, yeah, I'm one of the blah 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 for the bananas something baseball.
Wait, you're not joking?
I didn't know what they were. So I'm like, oh. He goes, you've ever
Who are
heard
you?
of them? And I go, no. He goes, you haven't heard of us? And I'm like, no. And he goes, oh. He goes, you got it. You got to hear about us, whatever. So he goes on his phone. He starts pulling up this YouTube. And I'm looking at this thing, and I'm on the flight. And I'm like, you kidding me? He goes, oh, yeah, we do the craziest stuff. This was before it really even like went to where it is now.
Like 6 months ago, I watched like a 60
A
Minutes
special on them, yeah.
or Dateline, or not Dateline, but one of the. And when they first came out, I'm like, oh, this is an extra league. This thing's going to be done and over with in no time. Because, you know, football tries to a separate league, indoor football and all that, and it doesn't work. And by the time I was done with that, I was like, I would go watch one of these games.
Is it more? Is it supposed to be more family and
oh,
children
yeah,
oriented?
everything.
Women are loving it. Kids are loving it. Because
It would be like taking-
baseball
it-
can be kind of boring.
It'd be like taking the rubber ducks over here in Akron and putting them on steroids, meaning like you'd walk into that
And
ballpark.
it's just energy.
It would
Energy.
be loaded to the
Music,
hills, people,
everything.
energy in between innings, all kinds of stuff.
They literally have a what do they call? Choreograph for dancing.
Yeah.
That works with the guys, and they have to do a dance routine, and they do
so
different
funny.
ones each like night. And
The
stuff.
Banana League. What a great name. Like it's just
and his team is called the Savannah Bananas,
that's
and
great.
he's trying to get more across the country. And where they go, they sell out. I mean, sell out big stadiums now.
And you are right. I mean,
So now that I'm sorry, but all those guys are probably getting paid a lot less than
major league.
major league.
oh, they have to be paying so much
but getting
less.
paid more than what the girls basketball teams are because they're probably generating.
or even if they're getting paid the same as what the girls basketball. But these guys, when they were interviewing them, they're like, yeah, I'm a good pitcher and stuff, but I wasn't good enough. And he goes, I'm so much happier than doing this
Yeah.
than changing oil at my normal job.
Right.
And but
Tying
who
in
knows?
what he said.
But who knows? Someday maybe this league will get big enough where the pay is there.
I can go pitch.
Nah, I don't know about that one.
Well, this has always been my thing. Why can't I start a team that is awful, right? Just unbearable, and I'm in the NBA. Guys that don't know how to play basketball that just get dumpstered on, and they're literally to be made fun of.
Do you know how bad that would be?
How bad we would get dumpstered? Would you not want to go see it?
Yeah, it would be fun for the first 3 times.
Like, oh man, these guys.
And then after you're like, okay, these guys are
Like they
150
score
again.
one basket.
that would be crazy,
crowd
though.
probably
They'd be
go-
picking them up off the floor, wheeling them out in stretchers.
yeah,
they're dead.
Oh, here comes the
If you
local
had- if you had-
locals team against the Cleveland Browns.
all walking in on crutchers. and-
Johnson is dead on the field.
Yeah, yeah.
I couldn't run up and down the basketball court 3 times. And I'd be
That
done.
would be so funny to watch. Oh,
Guys, stop, please.
Yeah, timeout.
Paul Violi, number 80, is asking for another timeout. It's his 10th of the
They
game.
would have to have that team have like 250 people on the side to sub in.
Each person would be making $100,000 off one pro's salary, and there would be like 80 of them ready to go.
That's a great idea. But once again, I think it would be a novelty thing. Like it would be really cool in the moment, but afterwards it'd be like, oh god.
Okay, so the Savannah Bananas is kind of like the Goldtrotters.
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah.
Globetrotters.
Yeah.
Harlem Globetrotters.
Yes, kind of like that.
I get it. Where they're having fun, but
Yes.
but they didn't have a league out of it.
No,
It was a sideshow,
Yeah.
wasn't it?
kind of, right?
I'm not trying to
Yeah.
dog them. They guys are more professional than I could ever be, but I'm just saying, like, it never was a league. It never was a game in and of itself.
Right.
But do you think that could expand into football and into basketball and
I don't
into
know. I mean,
golf? Start dancing while you're golfing.
I mean, golf is doing some
the
different
live
stuff.
tour is pretty wild.
But
And they're doing some indoor simulated golf.
so you have the women that are the WNBA, and now they're actually having tryouts for the WMLB.
So a woman's baseball league.
And my wife brought this up to me. She's like, while all this stuff was happening with the WNBA, she's like, well, did you hear about the WMLB? They're trying to start a women's league. And she was like, what do you think? I was like, I mean, go for it. Do it. I'm not going to stop you. But
Have they ever played baseball before?
they have.
But what is...
Oh, wait.
They
Yes.
did.
Because they play softball.
No, but they did. Well,
It was during World War II, I think.
what's the movie? There's a movie
I don't know.
that totally depicts it.
I don't know. But during World War II, for 3 years, they started a
That's
women's
Tom
league.
Hanks. Tom Hanks was in the movie.
Yeah, Tom Hanks.
The girls.
And she was in charge. He was the manager of the team, and he didn't want to be.
But in World War II, they had a women's league baseball to keep it alive and keep people entertained and
Because all the men were gone.
because all the men were gone. And once again, I'm for it. Do it, be it. If it works, it works. But once again, and it's nothing against women by any means. But what's the average drive for a male in the pros?
Over 300 yards.
What's the average drive for a woman in the pros?
Quite lower.
You know, when you're watching the WNBA and how many points are they getting per game compared to the NBA? How many? So it's just, I can tell you with confidence that men and women are built differently.
A league of their own.
That's right.
A league of their own. Came out in 1992. It totally shows that there was legitimately
A game, a
there's
team
a
back
couple, 2-3 years they played,
then.
or maybe more,
That's great.
and it was quite popular. I mean, it could work.
What I was trying to say is that when you're watching the women against other women may be extremely talented, way better than I could ever be. I cannot shoot a basketball to save my life. So they may be extremely talented. They may be able to do and compete against each other on a level that's in their own really, really. But when you're working against men that have been playing their entire lives and working their entire lives for that.
But they're not playing against them.
No, they're not playing. But when you're comparing the two, it's just a different sport. I mean, do they have, Joe, a women's PGA?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, they do? Okay, I didn't know that.
And they're actually good, and they do make money, and they do pretty good, but they also support that, meaning like they do generate revenue, and they have a lot of great players.
Once again, they're not making as much as men do on the.
But they have sponsors, and they have businesses
Yes,
they're advertising, and that's where a lot of revenue is being generated, you know. And the girls that are on those tours, they're getting compensated very well with sponsorships, you know, whether it's Nike or golf clubs or, you know, manufacturers. So, but that's been strong and very supportive. I will tell you that I have noticed, you know, with my son being as good as he is in golf, he's looking at colleges, there's a lot of great young female golfers out there. Ones that I would enjoy watching because they're that good. They are good. So, yeah, that league, they support themselves.
And it, like I said, compared to the WNBA, it's making money and it's
been going on for a while.
See, now, basketball, I just don't really follow basketball.
in general.
So I wouldn't even follow women basketball.
I mean, besides Angel
because I
Reese and
Caitlin Clark. You don't know
I
anyone.
mean, if you put a $100 bill on that thing, I don't know if I can name one more female.
So I don't know if you saw, but Shane Gillis was at something. I think it was called the ESPYs or something, and he had his friend in the crowd. He pointed to her and said, and I just want to let everybody know that we're sitting right there is a 2-time WNBA champion. She
And says her name.
Says
Her
her
real
name,
name.
and everybody starts clapping and cheering. Right after all this stuff's happening, and he just looks and goes, "You guys just fell for that. She doesn't play in the WNBA. She
And I
doesn't do
figured
anything."
You guys didn't know anything about
and,
the
of
WNBA.
course you don't know a single name in the WNBA. And he just like inadvertently, as a comedian, proved their point because they all started clapping. He goes, "You guys literally fell for my prank," which once again, I would hope for them the best. I wish that they could draw that, but if it's once again at the end of the day, it's a business, and if it's not, I don't know what to tell you. You know what I mean? If I ran a business, I had employees at one point. If I wasn't making money, if I was losing money every single day or every single year, I wouldn't be able to pay them at all. It just doesn't work in that regard. And if a business is losing and they're giving them 10% of what their revenue and they're still losing, they can't go and throw 50% because in 2 years you'd be dead. You'd be dead in the water. You wouldn't be able
They're
to
not going to continue funding it.
move on, go forward, or anything like that.
But we also have the Olympics has decided that transgender women are not allowed to play in women's
What?
sports.
They made that final decision.
Came out. So they said it was based on federal laws, which I don't understand how what the United States is doing.
Where's the next Olympics going to be?
I don't know.
But now if you
What's-
think about, now go ahead, sorry.
I was just going to say, I feel like if the Olympics is willing to say that transgender women shouldn't be playing in women's sports, then
James, can you flip that?
I don't
seat
think-
up there?
I don't think they should be playing
Come on,
in
Dookie.
high school, college.
No, yeah, it should. If come on, buddy, up here. If you're not going to allow that at the pro level, it's going to trickle down. If why? Okay, well, if at an Olympic level you can't have transgender in women's sports, okay, then just go one tier lower. Well, then why can't it be here? And it's going to come to the same conclusion. Okay, well then why can't it be here? Okay, it's going to come to the same conclusion, and it's going to keep going down to where high school. Okay, if it's not in any of the else. So it's going to slowly start trickling down. But to that point, there are some women's sports in the Olympics that you turn on the Olympic sports to watch the women compete because that is their sport. They dominate it. They make it all. The gymnastics, the swimming stuff. So I know.
I could tell you right now, Luca changes his name to Luciana. He comes in like top 10, top 12, top 15 when he's playing against 80, 90 of the top golfers around here in Northeast Ohio. If he flipped a switch and said, I'm going to go play against the girls, it'd be absolutely ridiculous. It'd be quite unfair.
Yeah.
I mean, it would be not right. I mean, I wouldn't let it happen. I wouldn't tolerate that. I'd be like,
but you're
So where do they play?
who?
I mean, if they're good, yeah.
If there's so.
Do they play in the men's league?
Do they
Do
make
they-
their own? I think that at the
Are
end of the
we at
day,
a
if you're
point-
making that decision, of transgender, woman can't play in women's sports, there has to be some sort, a biological male who became a woman cannot play in women's sports. Then they're making a statement that they're still a male. I mean, wouldn't you have to make that logical conclusion? So I guess it would be the men's, or it would have to be on their own. I don't know what else to.
Transgender league.
A transgender league. And if you have enough of them and you want to do it, go right ahead. I mean, I ain't going to stop you. It's just like the WMLB. If you want to do it, go right ahead. I ain't going to stop you. If you can generate it, if you can do it and you can be it, go. I mean, they have the Special Olympics, which if you ever have, those people love playing those sports in those games in the Special Olympics. They're loving what they're doing. So if you're loving what you're doing, and you've put yourself in a category that we're like, we don't really know, then maybe you have to have your own category. I don't know. It's a very touchy subject. Me even just talking about it, I'm cringing because I know that there's so many people that are gonna
Gonna be
start
so much hate mail.
jumping down my throat. Heaven forbid we talk about global warming.
Well, there's a difference between a man and a woman, physically, and like you said, some sports, I don't think men can.
Do as good
Yeah,
Right.
or as graceful or as
like figure skating.
yeah,
But then again, there are some men that
100%.
we forgot to start the podcast. You and I holding each other like the Coldplay.
Oh, we should have. And I ducked away and down and
Yes.
Now I've never listened to a Coldplay song in my life, probably.
What?
How
Come
can
on,
you
that's not
say
possible.
that?
If you listen
I
to the radio.
I get into the car with him just now to come
Yes.
here, and he goes, "Do you like Coldplay?" I said, "I love Coldplay. I listen to all their stuff. I think they're really good." He goes, "I've never listened to one." I said, "That is a lie."
They've
I
been
don't
around for a
think-
while.
Viva La Vida.
I bet you if you played it,
The musician you are,
I know.
the music you listen
But this is
to,
not the type of music I listen to.
it doesn't matter.
You
It's-
would
it's
know.
Crazy
I bet you if you
Well,
played
you
a
listen
song
to
or
the
two,
wrong
I'd be like, "Oh, I know that song." But I could never tell you a name of the song. I couldn't pick if you played 5 songs of 5 different bands and one was Coldplay, I couldn't pick the
Well, the
Coldplay.
piano,
I'm totally
the
good.
piano in a lot of these songs are so dynamic and like memorable or catchy, so you're gonna
You
know.
would know. But and it's going around everywhere. Everybody's using the skit.
That's all I see.
Everybody's using it.
Coldplay, Yellow.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I have heard this song. Everything
This has got
yellow.
some good
Yeah.
drums in it.
Yeah,
That's
no,
right
yeah,
up
no.
your alley.
It's got drums in it.
Yeah, I love drums. No, but basically what happened, and everybody knows because I think it's gone everywhere, that the CEO of a huge company got caught cheating on his wife, and
Both of them cheating.
both of them were cheating on each other with each other.
Whoa, what do we got going on up there?
I'm just telling
Like he
you.
knew.
Did you see what
He knew. Get him.
Yeah, Coldplay at their next concert, they never brought that up directly, but they said, "Hey, we have this little thing where we shine the camera up at you, and so I'm just letting you know. So get ready."
But he never like said
Yeah,
exactly
and he goes,
what he's
and
trying
he
to
goes,
mean.
ladies, if you need to touch up your makeup, you got like 2 minutes. Like,
Well, we also had somebody sent me something, and it showed the sign outside of a strip club. It says, "Don't worry, come in. We don't have any kiss cams."
Oh my gosh.
Some guy's driving down the road. Oh, great!
That's pretty clever.
That is
but
very clever.
obviously they all these now when the kiss cam comes on, everyone's doing that and they're ducking. And one guy I thought was pretty clever at one of the Phillies game or something. He holds up a sign and he goes, "This is my wife." Like,
That is
Yeah, I was just
great.
about to bring that up.
If you're worth $1 billion, listen, you're worth $1 billion.
Yeah.
And you're doing something you're not supposed to be with a woman you're not supposed to be with. You don't go to a concert where there's 50,000 people that are going to be looking at.
Or you just don't cheat on your wife.
What I'm saying is, if you're going to do that and you're worth that kind of money, go somewhere. Go fly her out to Barbados or something, and
Where
stay.
no one has a camera.
and then he's bothered and upset because a private moment was made public without his.
When you read
approval.
his apology, it was, "I'm so sorry." I don't think it was an apology at all. I'm
No,
so
he
sorry.
started off, well,
But listen to
maybe
me.
not really.
If I slapped you across the face and I said, "Look, Paul, I'm so sorry. I
could
shouldn't have
do
hit you,
better."
but I could have hit you better." And honestly, if you think about it,
you
you kind of deserved it.
in my
Yeah.
hand's way.
I'm not sorry.
They're going to come in and land. Watch.
I'm not thinking about that. And look at that. The geese are coming through. Hopefully that got caught in the camera.
God bless America.
God bless
Oh, wait, wrong
America.
bird.
America.
Damn it. Oops, sorry.
No,
Those
you're fine.
eagles and geese, they look so much alike.
Yeah, they sound just alike too.
You tell me that's not what an eagle looks like?
You're just not figuring it out. But then you also mentioned, I haven't seen it. I only watched the original video once again. I'm not on any of the social medias and stuff like that. But then you told me that they're doing it with mascots at sporting events. That's got to be hilarious.
Yeah.
Two mascots are holding each other and the one ducks
Phillies,
down.
yeah, they were holding each other and then they hide and they're like embarrassed and
Well, now it's been, how long has it been? A week?
About
Whatever. There's already someone that has made a video game where you are the camera person and your job is to look through a crowd and find them in an embrace. That's the whole game. Like, that's how quick it's going around.
That is great. And then I'm scrolling through YouTube, and it all of a sudden you see two people hugging each other. The one ducks down, and we're like, "Oh, look, they must be cheating on each other." And then the guy goes, "No, he's not. He's playing XYZ game." So they're like incorporating in all these commercials. They're like, it has become this huge thing for one moment that
And
has
all-
ruined two families, which is terrible.
yes.
Two families have been torn apart, but he's resigned, which I wonder if it was him doing it to save his image. Was it the company that says you got to resign? Like, what was the dynamic there? But, and then I also read, which I have no idea if it's true, they were married before he got the job, so they didn't have a prenup signed or anything like that. So his wife is going to be getting a majority, half of his monmoney. So I mean,
Half
it's
of
just
$1 billion
it's just a whole
is
nasty
a lot of
thing.
money.
But what's going to happen now is that there's going to be someone at a concert. Paul, you're the woman. "Oh, are you a little chilly? Oh, I've got this blanket here. Let me throw it over you." And I sit a little closer just so that way the blanket's covering the two of them. The kiss cam's going to come in, and they're going to be like, "Ah!" And then they're going to think, like, that's what it should have been.
Yeah, but I'm going to tell you right now, if I'm sitting next to a stranger,
I'm not offering them my
sharing
blanket.
Trust me, I'm not offering my blanket
I'm
either.
giving my blanket, but not sharing it. I don't think my wife would go for it. Speaking of,
Does
my
anybody
wife,
not think that if you're worth $1 billion, the girl you're going to be holding at a concert should look a little bit more?
There now has come out a huge study that shows that it's for men in very high positions making a lot of money. It's not entirely about looks. It's about the positioning of the other person. It's about the relationship to the other person. It's about the
because she was very well to do.
and she was also in the company, and they're saying that it's not all about looks. It's about, how scandalous is it compared to just meeting somebody online and you're doing this. So the fact that it's in the company and it's a lot worse because
They worked at the same company?
They were the same, and she was the head
She
of
was the
HR
head-
or something
head
like
of
that.
The HR woman.
Didn't even know that.
So like that right there,
I think that's breaking a law.
That's part
in
of
her company.
Double
that's
negative.
part of the
She
problem.
signed the handbook.
Yes,
She made the
handbook.
Damn it. Shit. Sorry.
they made the handbook. They should know these things. And then the other girl that was next to them was also in the company as well. One of the two of them were head of HR.
No, the one.
The
Because the
woman,
one girl was looking at the thing and was like, oh, it's over.
yeah, like there's things up because she knew, and
He's like, they finally got caught.
yeah,
I knew I should have went to this Coldplay concert with them.
it's just. And I remember when you told me that originally, and you told me, "Hey, did you see this happen?" I said, "No."
I would tell you right now, that guy is thinking in his head like 7 million times over. What a terrible
No, 500 million
concert
times
to
over.
go over. What am I doing? Why did I do this? What is happening?
Uh-huh.
His kids, his
they
wife.
they could have just like,
Played
was
it
cold.
off.
huh?
She was cold.
Yeah.
Nobody would have known.
They could have kind of just like, oh, and like stepped away from each other and like, no, and like
Just
just
wave.
waved.
or just
And
keep
then-
hugging.
They acted guilty.
Yeah. And then they would have just had to have explained to their
Friends.
spouse. And
If
it would have even became a viral
If-
thing, it would not have become a
Yes,
viral thing
it
if
would
they
not.
would have just been like, nah.
we're done.
Or just like
But
slowly
when
let
you
go.
die,
Yeah.
head first into the stands in front of you.
that's why I thought when I first watched it, I just passed over it because I thought it was just like, because people like to play around with the kiss cam and act like they're not together, but they are together and they get in a fight kind of. I thought it was just a joke. And then it's real.
And it's the most real. It's like it could. Once again,
Could
it
not have been caught more red-handed
No.
at all. There's
And that's
nothing
what
you
I
could have
joke-
done. There's nothing you could have done worse.
Not that I ever would, but that's what, like, if I were to ever cheat, I would be caught like that. Like, I would be walking into a hotel and my in-laws are walking out the other hotel room. Like,
This is how I'd be sitting there the whole time.
Paul would be like, hey,
Don't touch me.
don't tell anybody, but
I'm not even here with you.
I need extra money. I'm here cleaning the rooms. I'm
Yes,
room
yes.
service.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that is so funny.
speaking of my wife, I'm in trouble with her again.
Oh no.
What'd you do?
You start having conversations, and we had this conversation about whether or not if one of us were to pass away, would we get remarried? And so she's like, yeah, I would want you to get remarried and be happy. And I'm like, well, I would probably not be able to stay in this house. And then she's just like, well, sure, why not? It's a beautiful house, stay in the house. And I'm like, well, I'd probably have to change the bed. And she's like, yeah, change the bed. That's our bed. And then she's like, but I don't play enough. You like to play golf. She could use my golf clubs. And I'm like, no, she's left-handed.
Oh, jeez.
You just got caught.
That's why Paul's down here tonight.
You got kicked out. You couldn't have. No, she plays tennis.
Just yeah.
She plays tennis. Don't
No,
worry.
she doesn't like golf.
All joking aside, Paul doesn't play golf either.
I don't.
I just have the clubs.
I have the clubs. I go out and I just
I told
get really.
I'm playing golf, but I'm
This
actually
is-
going to go play tennis.
This is my extent of golf. I get really excited when Joe says, "Let's go golf," and I get excited for 2 days, and then I hit the first hole and it goes really bad, and I'm pissed the rest of the time.
And he's like, why?
Well, Sam, your job for being a guest was to bring a topic. What did you want to
So
talk about?
I was not aware of. I knew it was called Gents Talk Current Events. This is not by any stretch
doesn't
of the
have
mean
to
a
be.
current event, and by that I mean this is going back hundreds of millions of years. Okay,
Hundreds of millions
So,
of years.
This
This is Gents talking
past
100
events
millions years
that
old
come
events.
current. So I didn't know.
So-
So there was something that I had seen recently. Do you guys know Vsauce on YouTube?
Yeah, I do.
He just posted a new video, and he was talking about how you have ghosts, whether that be your physical ghost, social media posts, your memories that people have of you, and how those different ghosts go away after a certain amount of time. And then he started talking about how animals would evolve to do certain things. Some examples. A giraffe was given the gift of a long neck so that it could eat the leaves at the top of the tree that no one else was eating. Natural selection. Natural selection selected polar animals to have white fur because nobody ate the snow. So he brought up the topic that all that time ago when humans were just becoming intelligent, that natural selection gave them imagination.
Okay.
Because I don't remember exactly what the term was, because there was ambition or something that was not being taken hold of. So since that point, humans have not relied on evolution and natural selection to take care of them. Humans now rely on resolution because we are smart enough to handle our own problems.
To fix the problem.
Instead of waiting tens of thousands of years for our body to fix it for us. That's why...
Or eliminate certain people.
Correct.
Or eliminate
the problem
issues.
right
But
then and there.
you're going at it from the point of view that humans did evolve from something else. Is that your thought process?
Whatever it may be.
But you're saying
just the natural evolution of animals.
animals compared to humans.
Correct.
Animals evolve like a
So, but
turtle.
he could almost be making the argument that humans did not evolve.
But they've always
humans-
been resolving, not
Humans
evolved.
have evolved to this point, and since then, what has changed physically in us humans besides our overall intelligence? Because we are not evolving, we are resolving.
Okay, so you wear glasses, you wear glasses, you wear glasses.
We have solved the problem with horrible
I don't
eyesight.
wear glasses.
Right.
If your thoughts are right, and we would have let natural progression and evolution
should have
take
eliminated
place,
us.
eventually you couldn't find food, you couldn't
something would have
survive.
happened.
Shoot something.
So then natural selection would have kicked in, and there
Natural
would have been
selection-
a super gene where you can't have bad eyesight
So it
anymore.
would only be the guys left that has good eyes.
Right.
And we'd be reproducing. And
So what do you think the
eventually-
very first, what is it called?
resolution.
Resolution.
Right, Sam?
What do
Fire.
you think the fire?
We're cold.
I need to fix the guy. The one side guy was like, "Why should I wait around to do this?" He's like, I think I'm gonna take this stick and I'm gonna tape something to it because he has an imagination now. So now he can critically think about certain topics. Because like the car, you had to have the first person to come up with the car. He just had to think, I'm gonna take these three components that we've already used, like the wheel was a big one, because they're solving their problems. How can I get around better? I want to make the wheel. Well, now that I've got that, I need to get super far. So now let's do trains. Horses, buggies. They keep solving the next problem after one's been solved. They are not physically evolving because they're using everything else around you to solve the problem.
So
I just thought that was an interesting point.
It is a very interesting.
Not that, I mean, it's
probably
just,
going all the way back to, I would imagine that humans used to hunt and gather.
And
And
now
the first human that decided, instead of us gathering these nuts and berries and stuff, let's plant a garden. That had to be pretty epic.
right. The first person that you walk into his little plot and he's got a little tiny garden and he's like, this is all I need for the whole year or whatever. I got my animals. Instead of me having to
then
go
he
kill them, I'm
started-
going to use them and
the
breed them.
Indians at the time they would move with the buffalo.
Right.
So instead of doing that, they're okay. Now we're gonna just locate
The buffalo
the
here.
buffalo. We're gonna have them. That's now, but that is something that has always been. That is just what has always happened for humans. But it's just really cool to be able to captivate it into an idea.
Finally,
Right.
that's the first time I've thought about it and I was like, that's almost
makes
sounds
sense.
correct.
But have you seen, but animals in some ways, have you seen the crow
Yes,
take the
they're
bread
incredibly smart.
and put it in the water? Have you seen that video?
mhm.
No.
It takes a piece of bread. So someone gives it a piece of bread, and you think it was going to eat it. It takes the bread down to the water, and there's fish in the water, and it puts the bread in the water.
No way.
Fish
And
come to
it does it like 3 or 4 times, taking the same piece of bread out, putting it back in,
What?
and then the fish came up, and boom,
Got the fish.
So crows are incredibly intelligent.
it was
Well, it's the
fishing.
same thing.
It was
but
fishing.
Raccoons, they wash their food. They clean their food. There are some animals that have that, but
So, could they become?
the next human.
Well, I'm just
Crows.
but right.
interesting.
It's just an interesting thought because really, like I said, nothing physically humans haven't changed. There's
I
not
mean-
a subs. There's not a because
We've gotten taller.
there's 15 types of birds nowadays, right? There's one species of human.
Mm-hmm.
There is not 5 species.
Because they all have different characteristics that make them live and be.
Because we are just humans. We're not crows and blue jays and this.
But, I mean,
and that
it could be compared to everything in your life. Like I should have calluses. I have slight calluses, but I wear gloves at work. My hands should be rugged and tough because I'm working with pallets. I'm picking stuff up.
Gloves on.
But I put gloves on. My feet. I'm wearing shoes. My feet should be. Those people say you should go barefoot. And my feet should be calloused. I should have better balance. But I've resolved the issue of pain in my feet to put shoes on. I wear certain clothes. We couldn't live in certain climates if we didn't resolve the issue of I need to be putting more clothes on.
Because if a human could never survive in the cold, there would not be humans there at all.
Yeah, but there is.
During that time.
And and humans have expanded to every continent Antarctica, you have a very, very limited amount of humans.
Right.
But we've now been able to literally expand.
But now our next issue is overpopulation of the earth, whatever that may be, resources. I mean, the next step for humanity is another planet. So that is our next, how do we resolve this next issue? Is to become...
But we may be resolving it ourselves. Because you sent me something about, or Dominic did, about how the population, to continue growing, you need to be at 2.1 children. And the United States is at like 1.7, 1.8. So for a country to continue to grow, you have to have immigration.
Or you have to have more babies.
Or you have to have more babies.
And
but
right
since
now,
we're not having more babies.
And that's another topic that is a very touchy one. But I also read that right now in Europe, for every 3 babies that are born, 1 is being removed through abortion. So that also goes into your idea of population control. And not control, but population issue is that has become such a big issue.
Unless we have another generation that comes along and says, we want to have bigger families again.
Right.
I see them.
Well, so in China, based on the same thing, I supposedly...
It's okay, Duke. I see him,
buddy.
Little timeout here while Duke makes sure everything's okay.
But in China, supposedly, in your hierarchy of age, you want it to be a pyramid. More young, or sort of a pyramid that peaks at the top, because you want to have more 20s, 30s, 40s than you do 50s, 60s and up. China is the opposite way. They have a ton of old people that are leaving jobs, and they don't have the current... Because they've controlled their population so hard that people are, and I don't know, this is not anything intelligent. People are predicting that China will have a horrible collapse within the next 10 years, and that they cannot come back from.
Because they just can't sustain themselves.
They don't have the people to do it, the work, that of all the people that are leaving. Because you want to have more people coming in than are leaving, and it's the opposite.
So has their resolve, because they were controlling the population because they weren't able to handle the population with food and with, China's it's a communist country, so they're also wanting to be able to control a little bit easier. When you have a large mass population, you can't control them as easy. So their resolve ended up being the opposite. It was their demise. They tried to resolve the issue. So a resolve on that grander scale, maybe not the physical features of a single human being or a small group of people, but when you're talking about a world, you're talking about a country, a resolve could be the worst, could be their downfall, like what you're saying. And that's another really crazy thought.
Or maybe that was the ancient Egypt. They resolved so far, because I feel like that civilization was much more advanced than what we give them credit for. If you can make a pyramid, if they made it. I still think aliens did. You laugh, but
it's a conspiracy. And right now, there's more conspiracies coming true than there is non-conspiracies true.
And I'm sure that there's a file that the FBI is going to release on the pyramids.
It's an ancient tablet.
Yes.
Just like they're going to release the Epstein list.
Is that actually going to happen? Like, I heard a whole bunch of stuff going on.
So we talked about it. We talked about it last week.
But no, right? And then now, Pam Bondi,
yep,
the head of the Department of Justice, claims that she is going to sit down and talk to Maxwell, who's in jail, his wife or girlfriend. Which, to me, if you're investigating this at all, wouldn't you not have already talked to her?
Yes.
However many years ago, because we just had 4 years.
She's in jail.
We had 4
Just pull the
years.
file. It's all there. I don't know.
Just talk to her.
put people in jail.
But do you know what she did? Yes, put people, like, started locking up. Don't even tell me the name. Say, we have arrested X amount of people for Epstein
no, I
problems.
want to know who.
I know you want to know who, but if you're having such a problem because you think the world's going to collapse because you're putting people in jail, and obviously you're going to realize because they're disappearing, just tell me you're doing something, right? I love that point. Just start locking people up. But she, I don't know if you knew, Sam, she was like his right-hand man.
Yeah.
She should be able to incriminate
Everybody.
if you have 1,000 victims.
Yes.
You don't
Because
just have,
no offense, but if I was her and I'm in jail and I know I'm in jail for the rest of my life, what do I care?
death,
Exactly. They can make a really good deal with her.
Right.
but she may be afraid of death. What's the one thing that's gonna keep her not talking? Death. She may be afraid that if she talks, she's gonna die. Which, you could put restrictions on and stuff like that. But if it goes as deep as they're saying it's gonna go,
It's a mess. And it's frustrating.
put people in jail. Stop messing around.
Yes.
Just put them in go back to Alcatraz and reopen that baby up. They're
Can't escape.
They're not getting off that island
They may resolve it and get off of it.
unless they're strong swimmers. Then they will solve their problem.
That's a really, really cool just thought. I'm gonna think about that every time I do something. I'll be like, I'm resolving my issue.
What happens
right
if
now.
I don't resolve this? Maybe I'll evolve. I just start floating.
So-
I'm a god now.
So on a basis of, I don't know, maybe it doesn't work this way, but in today, some of the people that are more successful, do they just resolve better?
Yeah.
Or does it not work that way?
I mean, that's a very minor skill. Like you have when you're thinking about evolution and you
Because there's just some people that can't solve problems,
I feel
Correct.
like
right? They can't
I feel like people
get
that
out
are
of their own way.
that are better multitaskers and they just handle situations or stressful situation, something that I can do not even thinking about it just comes natural to me, could be extremely overwhelming and anxiety for you.
Correct.
So you're not going to go down that path.
Correct.
Like, I've been in sales all my life. It doesn't stress me out. I like the idea of who am I going to meet, who's going to see the value of my product, what can I do to benefit their business. That
I might not be able to do that.
could just be like, whoa.
And
Right.
that's so funny because I was in sales ever since I started my business. That was sales. I had to generate sales. It was a different type of sales. And then I was in roofing sales. And then I was in car sales. And then I was in insurance sales. It's so funny because I'm done with sales. I don't want to have to put that, which you're not putting a face on, but you have to have that smile. You have to have that grin, the new people, I'm over it, which is so funny that you're not. Unless I was making a lot of money, I do not want to get back into a sales environment because I'm salesed out. I'm done doing that type of an industry, and it's just very interesting that you've been doing it your whole life, and it's let's go.
Well, not so much like let's go, but I just feel like I'm not.
But it's gotten easier for you.
Yeah, I'm not bothered by it, or I don't stress
Some of the
about
things that
it.
when you first started that would have really hung you up,
Yeah.
now you know how to
Now it's
handle
like,
it.
hey,
So to go back on your question, are those people that are intelligent and successful resolving better? I think it's not that fact. I think it's the fact that humans aren't being naturally selected
to be
to
eliminated.
die
Yeah.
so that the rest of the population can flourish. I think we're at a standstill where everyone lives so well in these first world countries and things that it doesn't matter if you are the stupidest person on the planet, you are going to be alive to breed and create potentially more stupid people, so that the ratio of stupid to smart will potentially stay consistent forever.
Which we are probably the only species that really
Because
keeps our weak.
because the animals will kill
And tries to
the
help the
runt
weak.
of the mill or
Yeah.
whatever.
I mean, a mom will realize that a baby's got an issue, and now I am not by any means.
Yeah. This is going down a whole path.
I'm
here.
not by any means saying we should start doing that. But what I'm trying to say is that we are the only species that does that because we have morals, we have ethics.
Correct.
There's value to life.
We are not fighting for life and death.
Yeah.
Now we are fighting for
Prosperity.
correct.
We're fighting for a better tomorrow. We're fighting for a better future. We're fighting for our children. The other species are fighting for their children in a reference of, I just want them to live.
Right.
You know what I mean?
interesting.
And not even that, but just circumstantial. If you really want it, if people are continually born and created in bad circumstances.
Mm-hmm.
Compared to
Eventually,
good
eventually it would fix
circumstances.
itself, or eliminate it entirely. So, like, are there wild cows now in the United States?
In the United States, I have no idea, but I would assume elsewhere there's wild cows.
Correct, but in the United States, cows are not. They are not domesticated animal, but they are not. You don't see just cow. Like, holy cow, that's a wild cow. You know, you'll never see that.
It's a wild cow.
You know what I mean?
That's great.
So cows in the United States have had a disadvantage because of our intelligence.
You couldn't release them, and I mean, you could maybe. I don't know.
Right, but you know what I'm saying.
They've been de-resolved. We've de-resolved
We've
them.
de-evolved them.
I don't know what's going on anymore.
Me neither. I'm just
here for the
enjoying my cigar.
cigars.
Just here for the cigar.
No, that's a great point.
So-
I really appreciate.
That's an
that.
interesting way to look at it.
It's going to change the way I view everything now.
If I'm invited again, I'll make sure I bring a current topic.
Oh, no, it's great.
I like this. We need to do topics that are just
Basically, what we need to do is we need to tease what we're going to talk about in the next episode.
one time.
and that's the
we are
moon
gonna-
landing.
Yes, that's what I was just going to say.
What is it going to be?
The moon landing.
Oh,
Which you know, just a couple of days ago, it was the 46th. No,
1969. They landed on the moon.
56th.
All I know is they landed on the moon in 1960.
60 something, right?
69, and it was just a couple of days ago. It was the 56th anniversary, 56 years ago, with the technology of a calculator. We went to the moon.
We're not talking about it,
Not
yet.
today.
But
we're
I'm going to
teasing
tell
it.
you right now.
We have a special guest for that.
the craft that they made it to the moon.
Neil Armstrong.
I don't know if I could take that from this patio right here and land it on the other side of that lake.
Take what? Sorry?
The craft that they made it to the
So
moon. with.
to continue the tease, I believe we landed on the moon. If you had to
I
say yes or
also-
no,
I am a strong 50-50.
Joe, do you think we landed on the moon? Yes or no?
100% no.
Sam, do you think we landed?
100% yes.
Oh, I would have thought you would have said no.
Me?
I would have thought you would have said no. That's awesome. That's going to be a great topic. We might just do a whole episode on that.
I think we should.
We should.
I have a guest speaker for that one.
Yes, I know.
100%.
I have one guy.
That
would
what?
He just has all the information.
And he
knows.
And he. What is he? Maybe we shouldn't tell you. What
He
he
was
believes.
in
His
NASA.
uncle worked for NASA,
Mhm.
and he knows the truth.
That's amazing. Gents talking current space events.
Well, or
From 60 years ago.
69. 1969.
Current event, 56th anniversary. Let's talk about it 56 years ago.
Current
that's
century
awesome.
events.
Well, Sam, I mean, do we have anything else to hit? I think we're pretty much good. We had a nice little string of events happening.
Yeah.
The world's popping off. But I think we're good. Sam, thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
coming.
Yes,
Joe,
thank you.
thank you for the beautiful patio. Thank you for the cigars.
birthday.
Cigars.
Thank you,
Happy
yes.
birthday.
Once again, please like, subscribe, comment. If you have a topic you'd like us to touch on, you have a
Comment.
question of the week you'd like us to hit, like we talked about, what's your biggest regret? Please hit us up. We'd like to interact. If you think we're wrong, let us know. We would love to be able to interact with those that happen to be watching us, and we just hope you enjoy.
Any single ladies out there? There's 2 single guys here. Comment,
Subscribe.
send pics.
Say, that's a real question. Are you subscribed to our YouTube channel? He's questioning it. That means no. I'm highly offended. Why do we invite him?
I don't know.
I don't even know how to find our YouTube channel.
He's a part of it and he doesn't even know. Wait, this is a YouTube channel?
Wait, we have a YouTube.
We're recording?
I'm just here to smoke a cigar.
No, that's great. Thank you,
All
John.
right. Good night.